Hello there, lovely people. It's Alex from Nintendo Life here, and today we're going to be talking about literally everything that we know about Pokémon Switch. Yes, we're going to be talking about the rumors, all the whispers on the wind, the things we actually know, and that's it. Because I'm pretty sure that covers everything. First of all, the really obvious stuff, and I know you'll probably think, oh, everyone knows this, but you never know, some people might not, so it's good to cover all the bases. First of all, we do know for a fact that this is a full mainline Pokemon game that is coming to the Nintendo Switch. It's not like a spin-off or anything like that. They're saying it's a new game, a new mainline RPG game, and we've known that since the start, from the very first reveal back in January 2018, 2017 even. That was a long time ago. So yeah, chances are it's not going to be Pokemon Stars or any other kind of spin-off game or anything. It's going to be a proper, full-fledged Pokemon game, as they promised. They promised. So they're going back out on that now, can they? They can't do that. Right, now on to the more interesting stuff. First of all, this is going to be Generation 8, as far as we know. In the Spanish version of the official Nintendo magazine, they confirmed that it will be Pokemon Generation 8. And that's an official source. The only odd thing and the only reservation we have about that is the fact that this source has been known to not be 100% reliable 100% of the time, which sounds kind of weird considering it's official, but that's just how it is. Also, the fact that no other official outlets have confirmed this does mean that take it with just a little pinch of salt, just a little bit, because, you know, it sounds like it's going to be real and it comes from an official source, but even so, there's still that sort of little wobble margin. There's a wobble margin. Always margin your wobbles. And from that, we can extrapolate that it's going to be in a brand new region, or at least it may be. Every other single mainline Pokemon game has taken place in a new region, so it's entirely possible and entirely probable that they're going to follow that trajectory. From the same source, which again is official, but wobble margins, they've said that the game will feature new mechanics, which isn't that big of a stretch, to be honest. I mean, in X and Y we had the Mega Evolutions, and in Sun and Moon we got Z moves and stuff like that. So, you know, it's really not that unlikely, but even so, it would be interesting to see. And how many new mechanics, we don't know. And what will these new mechanics be? We don't know. The Pokemon Company has also stated previously that they're looking for an entirely new way to play Pokemon. So it's possible that we're going to be looking at some sort of arguable sort of revamp of the series where they're going to rethink how the even baseline mechanics work. But again, this is still all hearsay. We don't have any confirmed details. So, you know, just be wary. Don't expect it to be like a fantasy JRPG soon, although it kind of already is. We've seen it already with things like Super Mario Odyssey and Breath of the Wild being like a kind of renaissance on the Switch, you know, changing up how you expect to play a game. So yeah, it's entirely possible that it could go down a similar route. I'm not saying open world, I'm just saying, you know, sort of rethinking how it all works. Another thing is that it is possible the Pokemon Switch will feature co-op in some regard, or at least local multiplayer. As in, like, on the same console, not local wireless, because it already has that. The Pokemon does seem well aware of the idea and very open to the idea of bringing in some sort of co-op or bringing in multiple people in different ways, as they stated in a Bloomberg interview or article. I need to look at my notes. Interview. The quote in question goes as follows. "Until now, games were made as one for one person, but now you can go home and play with everyone. So how do we tackle the— ow. So how do we tackle these themes, and how do we make sure it's not complicated?" It's by no means rock solid evidence or anything in that regard, but given the Switch has this kind of anyone with everyone, everywhere, anywhere, anytime with anyone, that whole thing has been ringing really true and been doing really well for Nintendo, and I would be surprised if there wasn't at least some way to do that. You could argue you can't do it in Breath of the Wild, for example, but Breath of the Wild is kind of different in regards to the fact that it was also on the Wii U, so it's, you know, I mean, it is a Switch game, but it's kind of a Wii U port at the same time. But even Super Mario Odyssey had co-op to a degree, you know, you just slap a Joy-Con in a friend's hand and you can play, you know, one of you's Cappy and stuff like that. So even if it's just something as arguably token as that, you know, chances are, I reckon it's going to be in there. Do you? Let me know in the comments below. Another rumor that's been making the rounds is that Pokemon Switch is going to take place in Kanto, which does kind of contradict what we said earlier about it being in a whole new region. I believe the rumor may have started because at the end of Pokemon Sun and Moon, spoiler alert, Lily says she's going off and she goes off to Kanto and stuff like that, or it's very heavily implied that it's Kanto. It's been a long time since I played that game. And there was also an image which looks a little bit like this, and this is apparently supposed to be a trainer riding a Lapras on Route 21. And, but frankly, it's so blurry. I mean, why is it that these leaked images are always so blurry? Frankly, I don't believe it personally, but you know, this is everything we know, so you know, I want to cover even the stuff that seems ludicrous. And the last thing I've kind of touched on already, it could be Pokemon Stars, it could possibly be a version of Pokemon Sun and Moon, like an enhanced version, like Emerald, and all that good stuff, or Yellow. I can't think of the other ones. Crystal, that's another one. The only thing that's really giving this any credit is the fact that Eurogamer said that they had multiple sources claiming that this was the case, and it's possible that maybe Pokemon Stars could have been an internal name for Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. We don't know, but they did say that it was coming to Switch. It all seems a bit odd, but Eurogamer really did knock it out of the park when they did the whole, you know, Switch reveal, because they got that spot on. There's also this image of Pikipek in HD, although it's entirely possible that this is just, you know, a dev thing, and, you know, they're not building the games on 3DSs themselves. They're building them in a different environment, probably on some sort of computer. I talk like I'm an 80-year-old, don't I? Or this could easily be some sort of, you know, like preliminary thing from Pokemon Go. We don't know. It could just well be the model, but just in a higher resolution, and that could be in any environment. It doesn't necessarily prove anything. Or it could be fake. Now we're on to the biggie, the million-dollar question, if you like. When's it coming out? Officially, the Pokemon Company have said on several occasions that it'll be coming out in 2018 or later, which unfortunately is every year after 2018 as well. There have been rumors flying around saying we could be getting it in November this year and stuff like that, but again, you know, there's not necessarily an awful lot of merit to there's not an awful lot of merit to these rumors, but to be honest, I mean, I'd be surprised if it didn't come out in 2018. I imagine they're probably aiming for a holiday release, so December this year or indeed November. Again, these rumors could just be, you know, somebody making an estimated guess, an educated guess, or something like that. Estimated guess, that's not even really a thing. Hopefully we'll be learning more when it comes around to E3 2018, but for the time being, that's everything we know about Pokemon Switch. And so all that's left for me to say is thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, then why didn't you peck that subscribe button, and be sure to check out NintendoLife.com for all sorts of lovely Nintendo related content. These things are hard. Thank you again for watching. Bye bye.